Let's go ahead and take a look at customary units of weight. When you think of customary units of weight, you might think of a person and how much the person weighs. And when you measure the weight of a person, you measure the weight of a person in pounds. In pounds. Now, if you were talking about something the person was holding, so for instance, if the person was holding an apple, you would not measure the weight of that apple in pounds anymore. You would measure that weight of that apple in ounces, as to how many ounces that apple would weigh. And then so if we had something smaller, like an apple again, you would measure it in ounces. Now, if you had a larger item, say a car, and I'm just going to draw the car here, but then again, don't laugh at my car, don't laugh at my drawing. It's not nice. And that car is not to size. But if you had something larger like a car or a big truck, you would not weigh it in ounces for sure. You would weigh it in tons, as to how many tons that car would weigh. And then so the smallest is ounces, then it goes to pounds, and then it goes to tons. These are all customary for weight, and these are the customary units for mass or weight. That is how heavy an object is. There are abbreviations for each of these as well, and there's also relationships to think about. 1 pound, which we will abbreviate as LB, is equal to 16 ounces, and ounces we abbreviate OZ. The other thing that we have are tons. 1 ton, which we abbreviate as a capital T. And 1 ton, its relationship, 1 ton is equal to 2,000 lbs, which will stand for pounds. Please go ahead and hit pause and copy these down. 1 pound equaling 16 ounces, 1 ton equaling 2,000 pounds. You also want to write down the abbreviation if you did not do so already. Just as we did with capacity, when we're talking about mass, when we're talking about weight, how much a thing weighs, we can also do some conversions. Let me give you a couple of problems and examples. For that first one there, it's asking you to go from pounds to ounces, or something bigger to something smaller. You know that 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. So that 1 times 3, and then we just need to figure out 16 times 3. 16 times 3 is 48. So we know that 3 pounds equals 48 ounces. The other problem shows 6,000 pounds equaling how many tons? We know that there are 2,000 pounds in 1 ton. So that 2 to 6,000, 2,000 to 6,000, we multiply by 3 there. So 1 times 3 equals 3. 6,000 pounds equaling 3 tons. Okay, it's time for you to try. Go ahead and copy down these problems and solve them. Go ahead and hit pause. For that first problem, you better remember that relationship, that 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. Knowing that, to get from 2 to 12, you multiply by 6. So that 1 times 6 is equal to 6 tons. 64 ounces is how many pounds? 16 ounces is equal to 1 pound. So that 16 times 4, so that's 1 times 4, which is 4. 64 ounces equals 4 pounds. Finally, 5 tons equaling how many pounds? It's 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. So 5 times 2,000, we'll start with the 5 times 2, which is 10. And since we are talking about thousands, we have to place 3 zeros there. And so those are our relationships and our conversions that we were able to work out. So remember, when we are talking about mass, when we are talking about how much a thing weighs or its weight, our customary units of measurement, smallest is going to be, starts with an O, is ounces. And larger than that is pounds. Finally, you have tons, where that how many ounces equals 1 pound? Right, 16 ounces equals 1 pound. We abbreviate pound again as LB. How many pounds in a ton? That's 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton, which we abbreviate just as AT. What was the abbreviation for ounces again? OZ. OZ. And so, as before, there are ways that we can use these relationships to go ahead and work on our conversions for mass or weight. This is all part of the what system? Customary system for mass or weight. Smallest again is ounces, then it's pounds, then it's tons.